Right, 26 July 2025. And today I want to quickly give you the updates on a Saturday. So I know most of you are going to be sleeping. So I want to do this very, very quickly. Let's get started with the key events for today. So today we have an election or a number of by-elections, and I'll try to give you an update as those by-elections start today. The opposition is not represented once again. So the opposition of Zimbabwe has not been contesting by-elections. They are losing seats in council, they are losing seats in Senate and seats in the parliament of Zimbabwe. That is because there is no organized opposition party with structures across Zimbabwe. So this is terrible because it means ZANU-PF will never be removed because you can't start a new party on the day of the national election when you've not been present in those constituencies throughout the period. So it is very critical to see what happens today regarding the elections that are being organized by ZEC. Now let's quickly go into the top story. In our top story today, opposition figure Norest Marara here is one of the people that is currently in jail. He is in jail after he was arrested for modifying documents relating to the import of t-shirts by war veterans leader Andy Mhlanga. So if you go to the Newsday newspaper of today, you'll see that war veterans leader Andy Mhlanga has been arrested together with his son Perfect. And this is after they imported t-shirts, and those t-shirts arrived in Zimbabwe in March. Norest Marara, who is a prominent figure in the MDC of Monzora, is a PVO. And Norest asked one of his employees to make changes so that she becomes the recipient of the t-shirts. So they then received the t-shirts, uploaded information on the ZIMRA website, and the t-shirts got into the country without paying because a PVO can import for free. So currently, Norest Marara is in jail together with 3 others who were responsible for that modification since March. And Norest is a very well-known person. He was very active on Facebook. And funny enough, when I went to Harare about a year ago, in fact, more than a year ago, I was at the bar of the Holiday Inn Hotel. So I just passed by and I saw Norest there. And he actually called me and said, "Kambakwe, let me buy you a drink." So he bought me a drink. Can you believe it? So the guy is in jail right now, Norest Marara, because of war veterans leader Andy Mhlanga. However, Andy himself is not in jail. He was granted bail because he's opposed to Geza. So he's opposed to Geza. He opposed Geza's statements that Mnangagwa was not a war veteran. So during that time, when Geza was making announcements and he said Mnangagwa was no one in the Liberation War, and Mhlanga came on the side of Mnangagwa, that is why he is not in jail. So him and his son are currently out on a little amount of bail, like $300. So this is crazy. However, Norest and the other 2 are in jail over those t-shirts. So very important, they've appeared in court, including Andy Mhlanga. He's appeared in court, but Norest is in custody in jail, according to the newspaper story in the Newsday newspaper. So I think we've covered that. Now let's go to other stories very quickly, because I said it's a weekend. We don't want to keep going. I want to quickly look at the war. There's a war that has started that is between Thailand and Cambodia. So over here is the president of Thailand, and she has started a war with Cambodia. You can go check it out. That's the biggest thing overnight right now. So these are some of the people I don't expect to start a war, but they're doing it. It's on. And then in sport, we've got a new president of the Zimbabwe Women PSL, Chido Chizondo, on the left. The outgoing is Teresa Magurawishe on the right. So we've got a new women's PSL chair or chairwoman or president. She is someone very well known in sport, and I've spoken about her sometime this week. Then Zimbabwe is going to be hosting Benny Hinn. He's a tele-evangelist, and currently there are a lot of activities taking place to prepare for his arrival. So he's going to arrive in October. And yesterday, Mnangagwa has met with Apostle Vutavashe regarding the Benny Hinn event. So Mnangagwa has approved the concert according to Apostle Vutavashe over here. Many thanks to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, for receiving us so early in the morning. His willingness to engage at such an hour reflects leadership marked by diligence and honor. The Benny Hinn Healing Crusade has officially received a green light as a significant step forward as we prepare for a historic move of God in Zimbabwe. All glory to Jesus Christ. Indeed, when God is involved, everything evolves. So Benny Hinn, he is very popular, and this concert follows one that is held or was held in Uganda, and the pastor from Uganda is actually the one organizing the one in Zimbabwe, and that pastor is called Pastor Robert Kayanja. So they're together, and this is said to be one of the biggest events in Zimbabwe. You can see that people love these televangelists. We've not had one in a long time in Zimbabwe because we've got our own Makandiwa. So Makandiwa is the Benny Hinn of Zimbabwe. But Makandiwa and Mutavashi, they don't see together eye to eye. So when Mutavashi started, okay, I stand to be corrected. When Mutavashi started, he was together with Makandiwa. They used to do stuff at AFM. And these guys were the most powerful preachers ever. So they did a series of crusades, which were interdenominational. And they would stand on the stage and mesmerize the crowd together. So I don't know when they split up, but Makandiwa and Vutavashe used to do very well together. They used to move around together. And you can see he is with his wife over here. So he's with his wife, Vutavashe. Amazing stuff. Let's see what happens with that conference of Benny Hinn. Then at the University of Zimbabwe, there is a disaster that is unfolding. And the University Association of Lecturers, UAT, I stand to be corrected with that definition. They have revealed that the University of Zimbabwe's courses are collapsing. So they've reached 101 days without going for lecturers. So there's no lecturers taking place in the University of Zimbabwe for over 100 days. They have now revealed that the University of Zimbabwe is granting degrees to students that have not been supervised. So this is a collapse of education standards at the University of Zimbabwe. And the Council of Social Workers has said they're going to investigate these allegations because these are not properly trained people who are coming out of the University of Zimbabwe. So this is critical because what's happening is that we've got a disaster at an education level because Mapfumo, who is the Vice Chancellor, is refusing to negotiate. There is so much money which is available. I don't know why he's refusing to negotiate and playing hardball. Education, you can get money, donations, you can get grants. He's not creative. And we're only talking here of 184 lecturers. It's nothing. It's a small amount of lecturers. They can easily pay them the 2,500. And you can see that NAST is not on strike. That is because the NAST guys get paid better than the UZ guys. UZ not doing well at all. Then let's go to community. An accident has occurred in Gweru. 2 people have died after a Govasberg services bus crashed head-on with a Honda Fit head-on. So there was a head-on accident. Terrible. The roads in Zimbabwe are bad. And then in entertainment, you won't believe it, Energy Mtodi has released a number of YouTube videos. So go check it out. This guy is crazy. He's got some of the most interesting videos. I was watching them overnight, and it's amazing. Energy Mtodi is now a musician. He is a musician. So go check out his channel, his new YouTube channel. I now want to show you a feature. So Becky K, a Zimbabwean woman, has revealed that she had 7 miscarriages before she had a child. So I want to show you Becky K talking about it. She started a new YouTube channel. So go over there. I'll show you a little bit of her channel. So let's see what she's saying. Becky K.
At the time I got to miscarriage number 5, now number 5 was a hectic one, but miscarriage number 6 was the one that threw both my husband and I off, because it was so dramatic. And I remember asking God, does it have to be this painful? Does it have to be this horrific before I hold my tangible blessing? With miscarriage number 6, it happened at home, and my husband had to pull the baby out of me. I was 13 weeks pregnant, and I was really excited that, yes, finally, I'm going to hold my blessing. And then it didn't happen. We spent that evening in the bathroom singing praises to God. You wouldn't believe.
Okay, so you can go and check out Becky K's channel. This is a shocking story. Go and check out Becky K if you've got an opportunity to do so. And I know many people in Zimbabwe are affected by this thing. Now, let's quickly look at the newspapers, if they're published. Let's look at the Herald Zimbabwe. Let me see if the Herald Zimbabwe is published. Normally, the guys will be sleeping on a Saturday, but I'm surprised that they're published. As you know, their boss, Jenfan, was in Bulawayo yesterday. Jenfan was traveling. Let's see if I can find a picture of Jenfan at Mhlahlandlela building. So that is Jenfan over there talking to ZBC. They went into Bulawayo to do some stuff. I don't know what they were really doing over there, but the media in Zimbabwe is set to grow. Let's see how they use the money that they're collecting for ZBC, if they're going to do a good job over there. It's very important for the media to do well, especially ahead of the oncoming elections. 2028 is going to be different. You've never seen what is going to happen in 2028. So let's quickly look at the news. What is in the news today? Herald newspaper. So the Herald newspaper, as I said, is published. Let me quickly find it over here. And what is the headline? Okay. So President Steam wins golf challenge. You can see who is at the front. It's Mnangagwa with a new shoe. So this shoe, everyone was talking about it. But look at Sean. Look at Sean Mnangagwa over here. Look what he's wearing. Sean is amazing. It makes me laugh. Every time I see Sean Mnangagwa, I want to laugh. And he is the security of his father. Very alert. And I don't know how old is Sean, but watch out. Motor President Muen. And then bull fetches 40,000 at auction. I guess most of you had not seen this picture. That's an amazing picture. And then obviously we've got the other one with Taguri. Taguri is gaining weight, a lot of weight. He never used to be like this. Taguri, Bisadumbu Iromdara. And then let's see what else is happening. Mohadi, you can see Mohadi over here with Mary Ann Nyakabau, chairman of the Radiation Protection Authority of Zimbabwe. And let's see who else is here. BYO regaining status as manufacturing hub. That is Jenfan. You visited Edgar's. You also visited some other places over there. And you can see the Minister of State, that is Deputy Mpile Marupi. That is over here. And then Auxilia visited the graves at Mbudzi, I think. So she was crying very badly. And I'll show you the video later on of Auxilia. I don't want to talk about Auxilia today, but there's something I've noticed, and I'll tell you guys about it one day when I've got time, about Auxilia, what's going on with her. I've told you already that Auxilia has got certain things going on, and I'll deal with it. Now let's look at grooming correspondent Molly Chuma over here. Go check it out. So I'm not going to read over here. Everything we see on a Saturday is over here on the Herald newspaper. So the big story is Mnangagwa and golf. Mnangagwa and golf. This is amazing. Look at the Chronicle newspaper. Same thing. Mnangagwa is playing golf. They are changing his image. They want him to look approachable. So that is Mnangagwa. But here I say Mnangagwa arikuuraya vanhu nenzara. Mnangagwa arikuuraya vanhu nenzara. Then let's look at this one. ZNA warns health graduates against drug abuse. So you can see my baby army, a certificate to best RGN Nest student flight sergeant Kudzanai Zvikoni. Kudzanai Zvikoni. My baby army. I'll tell you about it one day. And then from hero to backlash, DJ Ola controversy. DJ Ola. I've got DJ Ola is a good friend of mine. Tamangu Ola. DJ Ola is amazing because he gets attention. So he gets a lot of attention. And the good thing is he knows how to manage living in Zimbabwe. So if you live in Zimbabwe, there are certain things you need to do, and he's doing them right. He's doing them correctly. You cannot be in Zimbabwe and fight ZANU. If you want to fight ZANU, live outside Zimbabwe, like Zimbabwe. Then every day you say the right thing, the correct thing about what's going on in Zimbabwe. So I've covered the two big newspapers that are there. The big story is Mnangagwa and golf. And then, obviously, we have a big thing happening with the currency. So what is happening is that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has a roadmap for de-dollarization. And they are taking Professor Gift Mugano here on board. So you must understand what's going on with the de-dollarization. They want to remove the US dollar as a currency by 2030. However, I can assure you that a new government, when it comes into place in 2028, they're not going to de-dollarize. So de-dollarization is a waste idea for Zimbabwe. Let me tell you what the problem is. The problem in Zimbabwe is production. There is low production. So there are structural issues to the economy of Zimbabwe, which means you are not producing enough locally. And all you do, every cent that comes into the country goes out. So instead of worrying about the currency right now, they should be worrying about production, which is what Jennifer was doing at Bulawayo. Unfortunately, they don't understand the scale. You need to think bigger. And how do you think bigger? You need to connect the country. So Zimbabwe is poorly connected and everything happens in Harare, which is not sufficient. You need to have production across the whole country. And then tourists must be able to move around fast from one place to another. Your infrastructure is dilapidated. Those are the issues that we have. So you need to do what the Zambians have done. If you go to Lusaka, the Zambians have made it possible to move around. So if you are buying a property in Lusaka compared to Harare, it's different. So Lusaka has got value, more value than Harare. I'm not saying Lusaka is bigger than Harare, so don't mistake me what I'm saying. Lusaka is obviously not bigger than Harare. In fact, in southern region, in Southern Africa, we've got South Africa, then we've got Angola, then we've got Mozambique, then we've got Zimbabwe. So that is the order. Angola doing very, very well. Then you have Tanzania. However, Zimbabwe is different because it's small. So if you want to make Zimbabwe a first world country, it's easy. You just need someone to come in and fix the issues to do with production. There is no production, so people have to import everything. So if you sort out tourism and people fly into Zimbabwe, then you make sure that those people can buy stuff in Zimbabwe. So when I went to Zambia, every time I withdraw money, which is 1,000, let's say 2,000 kwacha, I pay almost 10% in terms of fees. So I pay 200 kwacha in terms of fees. In Zimbabwe, a tourist comes, they go to Victoria Falls, they go to the falls, then they go out, they fly out, they don't go into the country. So they're not spending money. You want your tourists to come in large numbers, find a lot of hotels, and spend days and days in Zimbabwe. You don't want what's happening now, where if a tourist comes to Zimbabwe, the hotel costs $300 a night. It makes no sense. In South Africa, a hotel costs, let's say, $50 a night. A good, nice hotel costs $50. The most expensive hotel you can find here, which is Holiday Inn, is probably going to cost you, let's say, $60 or $70. In Zimbabwe, it's $200, $300. That is crazy. So the infrastructure in Zimbabwe is preventing tourists from coming, and tourism is your best asset in Zimbabwe. So you've got big game parks, which I never visited. Around Kariba, I got so many game parks there where no one ever goes because the roads are so bad. So you need to put rail, and you need to make sure that people can move around very quickly and improve production, and immediately you find yourself with a nice country, not what we have now, which is an old country, a peaceful country where no one can travel. It's crazy. I cannot believe it. Mozambique, yes, I understand. I understand why Mozambique, you can't travel. It's huge. If you want to travel across Mozambique, it will take you days and days just traveling. Zimbabwe, in one day, if you've got a way, you can actually go to all the places around. So this currency thing, they don't get it. They're going to stop this whole thing. The currency is not the problem. The problem is the policies and low production. So there's low production in Zimbabwe. And structurally, there are too many gaps. There are certain industries that don't exist in Zimbabwe. There is too much speculation, and generally, confidence in the market very, very low. So I don't know what Mgano is going to bring to the Reserve Bank, but you can see that he's been going to Zimbabwe a lot. What we need is a new leader. Right, let's look at the comments very quickly, and then I'm out. Gambakwe, Aka Broker. Aka Broker. Yes, Aka Broker. Let's go. Mnangagwa, Aka Broker. Auxilia, Aka Broker. Sean, Aka Broker. Emerson Jr., Aka Broker. Kuda, Aka Broker. Ndianumu. Farai, Aka Broker. Yeah, we're adding Farai now. Farai was at the State House last night. She's called Farai Mnangagwa Mlochwa. She's the one who was organizing the golf tournament that you saw yesterday. She is the daughter of Mnangagwa. I can Google her. And she is linked to Anuzanu Mlochwa, the one who is well known for buying the newspapers of Trevor Ngube. She is the wife. So, Aka Broker. Then Collins. Aka Broker. Usarame mkazi wako. Anotorwa. Right, I think we've covered everything. And let's see if I can show you something before I go. Something interesting. Let's close Becky K. Becky K. I'm trying to find out who's Becky K, and it's not coming out. She seems to be a new person. So I don't know who's Becky K. But let's look at something interesting. I want to show you guys something nice before I go. Energy Mtodi is now a musician, and I want to show you Energy Mtodi doing something crazy. And then I'll tell you a story. Let's see what he's doing. Energy Mtodi. Pardon newspaper that's here. Before I go, there is energy.
Yes, energy. What are you writing?
Did right, Shamar, and the country for no days over. Don't talk far of singate. I won't go for a looking good scanner.
Manje maganonoka mkwasha. Torne murume kumba uko.
Imagine and Suda Murmo, and what I will in the Nabas and others who talk about.
Tibvira apa. Aunyari unyenga mukadzi wemunhu.
Tibvire apa. Aunyari kunyenga mukadzi wemunhu. Go check it out. Energy Mtodi doing very, very well with his music. He's actually probably the only person who has released new music in Zimbabwe. Ashina Cash Shaka Broker, doing music in Zimbabwe is useless. And I hope that these guys will use some of the money that they're getting from these licenses to support the musicians. It's so sad. You saw what Baba Nicholas said, that as soon as you finish releasing your music, you go home and the next thing you see is your music being played on a phone. Pakaipa. Right, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'll be back here later on as we look at the elections. So the by-elections are ongoing. Guys, elections are very important. I don't want to understate what I'm saying here. Elections are very, very important. We cannot do anything without elections. And our opposition, Yaka Broker, it's not contesting elections. So we need to make it happen. Apostle Chuega for M31 president. I don't think so. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And a good day.